2014 was a decade ago. 2014 had quite a few different aesthetics, especially in the internet space. I think we had sort of like a popular white girl, the skinny one, the blonde one, the one that goes to Starbucks, the ones that shops at Victoria's Secret, and all that. We had the Ariana Grande type girl, Ariana Grande yours truly type of girl, the super feminine, very floral, very pastel, very like soft and cute. And we had the Tumblr girl, which is, the sort of pale grunge type of very sad girl, type of very, nobody understands me type of girl. That was the stuff that I was indulging in. I say indulge in quotation marks because I didn't dye my hair, nor did I smoke cigarettes, which I feel like was a big part of it. A big part of the aesthetic was not only, dressing the part or doing makeup the part, but also the self-destructive behaviors, which were seen as something almost worthy of worshipping. Now, one of the few things that I think came out of this era was the pavement of the alternative music. That was the time where Melanie Martinez released her Crybaby album, Troye Sivan, Blue Neighborhood. The Neighborhood, Wiped Out was around that time. Marina and the Diamonds, Halsey, all that. I think that was a brilliant era for alternative music, and I think that specifically is what we have to be grateful for. Now, speaking of music, one of the most prevalent albums of 2014 was Lana Del Rey, Ultraviolence, which is, of course, the holy grail, the holy grail of Tumblr girl music, because that was such a profoundly sad and slow and melancholic album. I wasn't on Tumblr, by the way, just want to let you know. I never was on Tumblr. I just adopted the aesthetic. I was never there. Just a disclaimer. But I remember seeing all these like black and white pictures from movies or TV series with the subtitles underneath them, and those are like sad quotes or like song lyrics from, again, possibly Lana Del Rey, on these black and white pictures, and that was the stuff back then. That was it. Aesthetic aside, the whole movement of 2014 Tumblr girl, it was very destructive. Let's be honest. It was romanticizing self-destructive behaviors. It was, all these pretty pictures of girls with cigarettes on skinny legs, because you needed to be skinny in order to fit into the pale grunge aesthetic. I'm gonna show you some pictures from around that time of myself, and unfortunately, I was a part of this. I feel like since the aesthetic is coming back, or at least I am bringing it back, I think we need to leave all of this my breakfast is a coffee and a cigarette type of mindset. Please, let's leave it behind, because I remember that was all the rage. What I think we also need to leave behind is the excess of glitter, the absolute flood of glitter that was going on. Listen, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it myself, because it was fun to put glitter everywhere and it was so aesthetic. All of my Tumblr girlies, we might be responsible for global warming, I think. If you couldn't tell from the intro, I am wearing still one of those American Apparel. Let me show you. One of those skirts, the American Apparel ones. I think one of the reasons why we want to bring it back, or at least I've seen the resurface of this aesthetic, is because in the past few years, all the focus has been on being healthy and being very clean and being very clean girl type of thing. I think a lot of us girly pops that grew up with this aesthetic miss this now because it was maybe something that we wanted to be a part of, but we're a little too young to truly experience this. And it was the cool stuff, you know, that was all the cool toned clothes and all the cool toned hair and makeup. Oh, also I'm wearing a flower crown. That was fun. I think we've just been craving the sort of detachment from the cleanness and the wellness. If we change it a little bit, take a step back from the self-destruction, I think we can make it work. I think one of the most important parts of 2014 was the sense of community that teenage girls had, because being a teenage girl is about the closest thing you can get to being in hell. It's turmoil, and though it was a lot of, romanticizing bad habits, it also gave a space for all of us to be sad, but be sad sort of in a space where everyone is. Everybody's sad. You're not sad alone. You're not sad alone, so that's about as good as it gets. And so now, 10 years later, I find myself yearning for the same familiar feeling of sadness, for the same feeling of sadness that I knew was gonna go away. Because now, whenever I get sad, I don't know if it's gonna disappear like it did 10 years ago. So, as sad, as self-destructing, as depressing that era was, now I know that that sad was going to go away. So I want to be back in it, knowing that it is the safe kind of sad. It is the curated kind of sad. It is the pretty kind of sad. It's not the ugly kind of sad that's going on right now in the world. So, just let me be. Let me wear my stupid little skirt. Let me wear my flower crown. I think we're gonna see a lot more of the trends coming back. And honestly, I want them to be back. Yeah, well, thanks for being here. Love you. Bye.